Oh.
This is it.
Wait a minute. I'm not. Why am I? Not in the center there. Okay.
Oh, hey. Nice of me to put the wrong camera on here.
What?
There we go.
That's the wrong camera?
For me. All right, you got to get a link.
Yo, yo, yo. What's up?
Did I get the cheap camera? Is that what it doesn't make my complexion look
You got the same camera everybody else does.
Okay.
You just look like shit.
Oh, okay. I can get rid of my makeup artist because they're appointed, so I can just appoint another one.
So the question is this going to show up on Robert's report as well, or will we have
so?
We'll have to upload it, won't we? If we want it there.
You mean we're actually going to be on MOV What's Happening?
We are on MOV What's Happening.
Oh.
And Rick Modison had already commented, by the way.
What's happening?
He's already commented?
All right, I hear somebody's thing going.
It's me. Don't panic. Just trying to get the link up.
Oh, did you see the MSNBC where the one guest was
Megyn Kelly
haggling the technical people in the background? Oh, it was
No,
hilarious.
I did not hear that.
Oh my! Well, we'll talk about that. That was hilarious.
No, the one I heard about was Megyn Kelly's war with what's Jane Fonda.
Oh,
all right, let's try this.
They're battling back and forth about facelift stuff.
I don't even know which camera to or which keyboard to use. That sounds like you, doesn't it, Craig?
Yeah.
101.
So they can hear what we're talking about right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Tune in or tune out.
What's a happening hot stuff? What movie was that from?
What's the? Oh, well, I'm thinking immediately. I thought of Office Space, where it's like, "Hey, Craig, what's happening? Can you go ahead and come in on Saturday? And I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in on Sunday too.
Yeah.
Sorry to spoil your weekend. Okay.
Yeah.
Crap.
Just wish I could get.
I'm evidently not typing the number right.
Wish I could get my stapler back. I like the swing line.
Hey, we got somebody from Arizona on here. What's up?
My.
What's up, Doris? How you doing?
My goal is to someday have somebody tune in from Pueblo, Colorado. That's where the Consumer Information Catalog comes from.
Oh Lord, we got Mike Bargalow on here watching as well. What's up, Mike? Just so you know, this is not like my DJ shows, so.
Party people, put your hands in the air.
I must have missed the invitation to be the DJ for your class reunion, by the way. I haven't seen it yet.
Party people, put your hands in the air, in the air.
I see Luke. Must be Luke. Yep, Luke. He's the only one with the Ohio State. Well, he's not the only one, but the only one that looks like that.
We're not going to be doing any backroading tonight, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. Oh,
Sheriff's on.
Nice picture from back in the day there. What's up, Beavis?
Is he not taking the code?
No. Cannot get it to take the code.
Maybe we have to get a what's happening code.
I don't know.
My technical director will work on that during the broadcast.
Here we go.
From the Man Cave Studios in South Parkersburg, West Virginia. Live and uncensored.
Yeah, well, fuck you.
This is Roberts Report with your host, Craig Roberts.
And I've been thinking that maybe it's time to let 'em know that we're alive. Everybody, lift your hands to the sky. If you feel it, let them know that we're well
Good evening, everybody. This is Roberts Report. I'm Craig Roberts, co-host Nathan Hess, and we even got the camera up for technical director Mr. Scott Martin over there.
How we doing, Mid-Ohio Valley? What's happening?
So if anything happens from a technical point of view that's bad,
Yeah, like I can't get our video comments feed working right now.
here we are.
Keep trying.
Roberts Report taking over what we have anticipated to be quite an interesting evening, to say the least. We're taking over one of the most popular social groups in Parkersburg right now. Just to give you a couple of stats, I don't want to take it all away for the whole broadcast, but one of the things are they have 612 new members per month. They currently have 29.5 thousand members. And a couple of the things here that was kind of interesting to me was we even have, from the MOV What's Happening, we even have 14 people from Canada, 7 people from Germany, and 7 from the UK. So apparently we have an MOV in other countries too, which is pretty cool. And if you are listening, welcome.
But we are not colluding, though,
With whom?
with those other countries that you mentioned. We're not
colluding. So, how's everybody doing out there? How you doing there, Mr. Hess?
I am enjoying this warm weather. For those of you in the Mid-Ohio Valley that know me, if it's above 70, you might as well just turn the air conditioning on and just leave it on. I mean, it's 50 degrees is wonderful. You could be out in shorts and a T-shirt in 50. Of course, I know some people are freezing, but
well, like Scott and I was talking about earlier, one thing that I'm going to say that is, if I ever say to you that I'm just going to let myself go through the holidays on just eating whatever I want to, and then I'm going to challenge myself to get back into shape come January. Somebody please just kick me in the jimmies, please.
the anything you want diet.
Hey, I want to remind everybody, we've got a poll out there. We put a poll out. Who is your favorite MOV What's Happening admin? And you can vote for Terry, Bobby, or Katie, or you can vote for which one is Bobby/Bobby, or you can vote for none of the above, or you can vote for who in the hell is Katie, Terry, Bobby.
This is not the kind of poll that you climb up and then.
That's what I was wondering.
When we had a vote already from Shelley Gallen, said, sorry, girls, Bobby adopted a dog from HSOV. So Bobby's got at least one vote. He thought he wouldn't have any. So
Terry Taylor is one of the administrators. Seems
she's the creator, is she not?
Is the creator.
That's pretty funny, Bargalow. Yeah, Bargalow asks, "Is there that many people in Parkersburg?"
Turmoil, drama.
That is a good question.
I see a lot of people post things of what's happening on such and such a street and such an avenue because there's, it looks like Christmas time with all the lights and everything. So
well. Bargalow, it's funny you ask that. Let's just go ahead and, since we're doing that, we have actually 12,184 people are from Parkersburg, to be exact. And the next closest is Marietta with 2,276. That's
you talking
pretty
about
good
population?
That's how many members.
How many members? Okay,
how many members on MOV What's Happening that are so, and we can't leave the rest of the people out. We got Vienna 1,521, Belpre 1,312, and Mineral Wells 649. That's actually a pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with that. 649 people from Mineral Wells. That's a small community there, but a lot of people tuning in, so that's pretty cool. Let's see. What we haven't really had too many outrageous things this week. There was one that I seen come on there. I think it was actually earlier today that there was something going on with cops over on Broadway Avenue. I never did hear the end result of it, but the cops were taking off in different directions with their guns. So if anybody could give us an update on that, I would be kind of interested to know on that. Broadway Avenue. I never did hear the... In case you couldn't hear it again, there you go.
I will say there is a local radio personality that likes to post on his webpage about how many overdoses we've had, and definitely the month of January last year was a lot higher than it is this year, and it has been contributed to the new sheriff of Wood County.
Mr. Stevens, if you're
Yes.
out there, great job. If you could pass that on to the rest of the law enforcement, we would appreciate it. They are doing a fantastic job, and they deserve much credit.
If you ever question what the I believe the city will do it as well as the county. You can fill out a form and you can go for a ride along and actually witness one-on-one. You will be in the car. I don't believe they'll let you out of the car. You have to stay seatbelted in their car, but you can be right there witnessing what's happening. It's like being a ride along on live PD or cop show and actually see the things they have to deal with.
That would be
day by
kind of
day.
interesting, I think. Wouldn't it be cool to go in a high-speed pursuit one time?
Oh yeah.
Hey, you still got your keyboard over there? Log into this for me. I think that's what the problem is with the comments. Sorry to bring up the technical crap on the air, but
speaking about the technical things, what was it? It was on Morning Joe, NBC, and one of the guests had some not very friendly comments for the technical director, and immediately Morning Joe was like, "Oh my, you need to head down to Starbucks and get him a $50 gift card because
If I can
the
remember my
technical
password."
director makes everything happen." They blanked out his video.
perfect.
As soon as he was ready to answer a question, all of a sudden his microphone was not working. So we have to always commend Mr. Scott Martin for doing an excellent job on the technical
Hey, we have
direction.
comments now.
All right.
Comments now.
Hey, Bargalow, IHOP is open. That's a good thing. Hey, anybody?
Yeah.
I ate pancakes last night.
Hey, have you been to IHOP? Post on here. Post on the comments of the video if you've been to IHOP and tell me how it is, because all I've seen is people bitching, and I love IHOP. Big steak omelet. That's the shit. Big steak omelet.
To not
Love
start
it.
off with something terrible, but I was hoping that it had like a bar, but but
No, that's the
it-
that's after bar.
But it doesn't have all the you're either they do have a bar, kind of a community table in the
Oh
middle.
yeah, you're talking about like Mountaineer. Yeah,
But
3
they don't-
a.m.
Yeah, they don't have a place where you can just sit down and the like a lunch counter for like an old department store kind of thing like that. It's all booth seating and
That's where you cab your way after the bar. I am kind of disappointed though that Parkersburg doesn't have an IHOP though. All we have is the omelet shop.
I've never been to the omelet shop yet.
oh
Ever. Never been there. ever.
ouch.
It's not all to shake
So
a stick
I've
about.
got buddies at work there who eat there. What's the day that they do the special? Is it every Tuesday or something like that where they have special prices? And he eats there every Tuesday and likes it.
I think the omelets are about like a sponge. That's just my personal opinion. It just tastes like eating a sponge.
I had pancakes and hash browns, and I thought they were tasty. It might be a little pricey for
You're saying you already got into the Marietta one?
yeah. I was
Okay, I
there
didn't know
last
that.
night
Cool.
around 2:00, and I believe
So is it open
it was,
24/7?
on Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay.
So
What's up, Mr. Bob Britton? Hey, I got a comment. I have to comment on how awesome, that's the best way to put it, went to see the Jinx lineup the other night at the VFW up in up by the Big Sandy.
When they have to go get more ice and they have to go purchase more beer.
Dude, that place was the most packed that I've ever seen. When we got there, Mom and Dad took us up. Thanks, Mom and Dad. And exactly. They ran out of beer. They ran out of ice, and people were parking across the street. They had a full parking lot. That was the most packed I've ever seen. And they said that it was because of a drawing that they were going to do, but nobody left. That's the thing. Everybody stayed until the end, and I posted a video of them doing, I forget which song it was, but man, they killed it, and that was even with Bob Britton was under the weather that night, but they killed it. So if you get a chance, go see Jinxed.
There was a lot of things going on that night as well.
Yes, there
were several bands. There was a fundraiser for at the Sixpence for the Team Forever Young American Cancer Society, and
5 Foot Forward was up in Marietta at the Adelphia.
Mm-hmm.
The Edge was playing at the at Sixpence
From U2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Edge, and also
No Adam
Aftershock.
Clayton, no Bono.
Aftershock. So
Yeah.
we raised over the good news is we raised over $1,000 for cancer research. They're actually sending some representatives down to talk to the people in Charleston about helping out with cancer patients.
That's awesome. That's one thing I have to say for Kim. Kim is always good about doing things like that. Doing the fundraisers for cancer. That's where they did the what's the Wish?
Make-A-Wish?
Make-A-Wish. Yeah, she did the
motorcycle things,
They used to do the Make-A-Wish thing there.
Yeah.
And she always raffles off things for she usually puts together the tailgaters package and sells tickets for that. So
If you're looking for a fun place for Super Bowl, the Super Bowl party coming up, that's also to raise money for the Relay for Life too. So
hey, Shallow Side is on. What's going on there? Actually, they're not watching. They're on their own live thing. Shallow Side, in case you don't know, if you do know, great. Shallow Side is a national touring group. They're from Alabama. They are the ones responsible for the song for our intro. They've graciously allowed us to use their songs, their singles as they come out in our intro and outro. They are also a great band to see if they ever come through town, which they do come through here about twice a year, somewhere around there, and they're awesome. If you go on YouTube and check out their videos, Shallow Side, they're great.
they recently did a cover. What was it? Styx, Renegade.
Yes.
The last time
They did a video
came in
for
that,
it, too. It was really good.
Video. So
Why in the world is for some reason I keep hearing my computer go off and it's on mute.
Oh, no.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Maybe it's coming through your computer. Do you still have Facebook?
Yeah, I do.
oh,
That's what it is.
Okay, there we go.
I was like, what the hell?
It is coming through my computer.
So we're here to talk about. We've taken over MOV. What's happening tonight, and several topics. It's kind of a spin the wheel of what you're going to see when you turn on your Facebook. I mean, I don't know. I'm in my mid 40s. Is it possible to go through a day without checking Facebook at least once, Craig? I don't.
I don't.
Unless you
really know.
leave your phone at home or something.
I'm a Facebook addict. I know, but I've also got a lot of things going on too. I'm always trying to do PR on either Roberts Report or Roberts Entertainment, and just trying to keep relevant. And then I feel somewhat loyal to try to keep, if I see one of our bands or whatever that come through that I like and support, Wayland or Shallow Side or something like that, I'll be on there. But yeah, I guess I'm a Facebook addict. But, I could be an addict to worse things, so.
I admit
Right.
I have to log on and check it all
You
the
have to
time.
log on and check.
I'm usually looking for something somebody's
especially this
ticked
page
off about.
this MOV what's happening now. Bobby Dowler, I think he made some people mad on there. By the way, while we're on here, I'm just going to go ahead and put this out there. If you come on MOV what's happening and you start running your mouth about things about the admins and then go on another site and do it, you're probably not going to be invited back. So don't do that. Just, we're all friends on here. Let's all be dysfunctional and stupid together. How's that sound?
Hey, Bobby Dowler.
Speaking of Bobby
There he
Dowler,
is.
$1 is on. Aha.
Hey, that you were talking about what we were talking about. What makes MOV what's happening what it is, or why it got so popular. For me, when I first came on to the page, it was probably it probably only had a few thousand likes at the time, and but what I loved about it is people were on there posting whatever they heard on their scanner. I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. I'm finding out stuff before I find it out on newsandsentinel.com or before I find it out on WTAP or something like that. And I'm like, this site is the place to come for news.
we've been kind of light on that lately, though.
Yeah.
That's not. It's. I mean, I remember. I remember last year, and I made a post about it not too long ago about the naked man walking down 7th Street.
Oh my!
We don't hear any cool things like that anymore. It's like,
Wait a minute. Did somebody post one about back when it first snowed, that they went to do a deposit at the bank and there was a man doing snow angels and masturbating? I swear to God, somebody wrote that.
Somehow I missed that one.
I swear to God, somebody back me up on that one.
We seem to be. I'd mentioned earlier in the show about the heroin deaths. That was one thing on me. MOV I always saw all the time was the.
do they go hand in hand? By the way, does the heroin and then people showing up doing snow angels and masturbating? Does that all go hand in hand?
think-
I don't know if heroin will do that to you. I'm thinking like meth or.
I think that's the meth or the
maybe
crank or
LSD.
something. Yes, there have been some crazy people around at the gas stations with some videos, but what was it? The popularity of the speedway on Southside. Where it was always what's happening there? What's happening there?
Bobby saw it.
Yeah.
Some guy was beaten off near the deposit.
Deposit box. Oh.
Was he making a deposit?
Yeah, I was going to say, no pun intended, right?
Oh, when I see Mr. Gary Turner,
Guess
it's
what
French.
a city councilor told me this week.
Turner is chiming into.
Gary, are you watching this shirtless?
We don't know what exactly is coming up, but what are you're gonna have to. Is this a knock joke, Gary? What is this?
Bobby. Yep.
But yeah, the MOV has definitely gotten popular. It's been well over a year, but so many thousands of people.
Hey, Bethany,
you can contact.
You're not the only one. As a moderator, I know that I don't do the post approvals that much, but I do know the rest of them. That is one thing that they do take seriously is when posts are just spreading rumors and are fake. That if they make it through, it's by accident and we didn't know. But once we find out that they're not real and
Terry Taylor has made an appearance.
They get taken down. What's up, Terry?
Finally, the creator,
and
innovator, and author of MOV What's Happening. Hey, by the way, and tell me what you think about this, guys, because this is kind of what I was thinking, is that this page wouldn't be as popular as what it is, I don't think, if it weren't for the Bob Newell thing. Because why did you almost choke on your soda? No, because I'm serious. Because it made people think that WTAP and the News and Sentinel, and actually mostly WTAP, weren't delivering the news that everybody thought was important. And so then you had all these little sites like Berg Tramps and
they weren't.
And what was Callie Lyon's site that was popular there for a while? I don't remember what it was. Like it was some kind of news site, and then you have this popped up, and man, it took off.
Yeah. Well, it's been cited that we're doing this. We're doing this all for free. We are not financially gaining from what we're doing here, but every major network, every television station, it's a business. So there's a reason why CNN is biased in a certain way, and you could even say that Fox is biased in a certain way. You could say TAP is biased in a certain way because there's a very touchy thing there of we don't want to offend. We want to tell the news, but we want to make sure that the news is there, and we don't want to offend our advertisers because that's what pays the
but I think it
bills.
went a little bit more than that as to like if Roger was friends with somebody, it didn't get reported.
Oh, well.
I think that was pretty well proven, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know.
So we're on the corrupt.
It's one of those things that
We're borderline.
That's just my personal
corruption
belief.
is
Those are not necessarily the opinions of Roberts Entertainment, Roberts Report, or anybody else. Those are Scott Martin's opinions.
Well, you can go back many, many years, and there's stories that can be told by the people that have lived in the area for quite some time that
See you, Mike.
there are reports that only the beginning was reported, but not the end. I mean, there was several years ago that when the gray lottery machines were in a particular venue in town, and it was reported in the news that they were taken out, but it wasn't reported that the mayor at that time called and had them put back in. That would have been about 30 years ago. So, yeah, I can see, with it happens in the newspaper that you get the headline part, you get the beginning of the story, but then if they made a mistake, then it's on, page 10, all the way at the bottom in real small writing. You don't get the...
Oh yeah, the
you don't get
correction.
the
you mean
correction
Yeah.
part. So
I'm curious to all the people out there in MOV what's happening. Just since we have a pretty good sized audience, how many people still get the newspaper? Just leave it. I don't either.
And I don't pay for their paywall either.
I've heard people over 40 don't read the newspaper, but or people under 40. That's just
I don't pay for their paywall either.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I don't know. You hear enough about it. Everybody else posts it out on Facebook if they do have it. So then of course you have to go back and verify that it's real.
I would say you would have to be at least I would say our generation, which I guess they call us the Generation Y, would be where things actually hit of that everything started progressing so fast of you just didn't have the three networks, CBS, NBC, and ABC, and you had the newspaper to get your news, and that was it. The phone was on the wall and it was on a cord. If it rang, you had to get up and walk across the room to answer the phone. If you wanted to know what somebody was doing or you wanted to get a hold of somebody, you walked across the room, picked up the phone, and you dialed a number, and then it said, please enter your number, and then hopefully that person was wearing a pager and it buzzed on their, on their hip, and it's like, oh, I need to talk to that person. You have no idea what the message is. The only thing you know is there's somebody left you with a phone number to call, and now you can pick up your phone and someone can say, oh, it's a boy. Like, oh, what was that? Oh, well, my cousin just had a baby and it's a boy. So instant information is definitely a plus.
Bob Britton says, guess they pissed some people off at WTP. Audio's out.
Oh. Lost audio. Scott, what is your nickname? Oh. Scott? Well, when he was in radio, it was Marty Scott, wasn't it? It's that was several years ago. John Justice is asking if anybody is reading the chat. But there are some sensitive topics that get discussed on the MOV, what's happening, and I think if you are in an area and something happens and, lives, people have been injured, lives have been lost, it's just not. I think the best word to use is ethical. It's not ethical to go on any media source and release the names of people that you may have grown up with. They may be your neighbor, they may be your brother. To release those names before family members are notified. It's just it's an ethical thing. So and then I know that's been discussed several times on MOV. What's happening as well? What's happening down the street? There was gunshots and everything, and someone will chime in. Oh well, immediately it was so and so, and he
we got
he shot his wife.
Hey, tell me what the last thing you heard was, everybody.
Hey, I just went over. I got to say this. I just went over to our. By the way, we have a YouTube channel too. Go over to YouTube and get our views up. But by the way, some dude just come on there. His name is Mike Hawk. I apologize, buddy, if I hacked your name, but he's from Singapore. That is awesome. If we're getting people from Singapore, yeah.
No, Terry, I don't know what happened. I think
he's the only one watching on YouTube.
I think we may have pulled the audio cable out of the computer.
Terry Taylor has blown a speaker. Oh, that is good.
Anyway, thanks to everybody who commented that the audio was out, so we caught it quick.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Diana. Yeah, the last thing they heard was my question on who all gets the newspaper.
Is that where we stopped at? Well, don't go back into that again.
I had said that it was
that was boring. Go ahead.
Nobody under 40.
There we go.
Nobody under 40 reads the
That's
newspaper.
good enough.
Fix my mic.
And I just said that I don't pay for their paywall online either. Actually, it pisses me off when you go to those newspaper sites and they give you like 2 sentences out of an article, and then they tell you that if you want more, you got to go to their pay site.
I think it's interesting now that you see an article on Facebook and then I don't know that you automatically have to go to Google and see if it's real or if it's fake news.
Yes, anymore you do. Hey, how about some of the listeners out there? How about some questions or anything? We want some participation from our listeners on here.
And I want to remind everybody we've got a poll out there. Who is your favorite MOV What's Happening admin? And in the comments, say why. And right now, the leading choice is who the hell is Bobby, Katie, and Terry. And then Bobby Dowler is actually the leading admin right now. And like I said earlier, Shelly Gallen says, Bobby, you're the favorite because you adopted a dog.
Oh,
That's awesome.
hey, that's always a good idea. Have your pet spayed or neutered.
There is no
Humane Society.
There's no better companion than a dog or a cat.
I was just contacted by someone from the one of the local Humane Society. We got the one in Marietta, one in Parkersburg, about doing some music. Those fundraisers help out. They need cat litter. They need
you
food,
have done the HSOV walk for 2 years straight.
Paul's Walk.
Paul's Walk,
Paul's
yeah.
Walk in Muskingum Park. So,
Yeah.
Hey,
It
speaking
all
of,
helps out.
before I forget, I'm getting back together the whole Humane Society party thing.
getting the band back together.
Yeah, getting the band back together. But no, I talked to the new, I don't know if she's the director or not, but she's one of the people that's in charge of doing it. But we are going to get that party back together. Hopefully we can get it. I really like doing it around Christmas time. I know a lot of people disagree, but it's nice to do it as a Christmas party. And so that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to get back together so we can raise some money for the Humane Society. I did it for 2 years in a row. Then something come up and it didn't work out, and we want to get that going again.
I need to find out when the HSOV furball tickets go on sale because I've done that. I went to that 2 years in a row, and that thing is a blast.
I have not got to go to that yet.
I love
need to go.
that. Oh, you have to go, man, when you get the opportunity. And the Bash plays there, and they're fantastic.
Craig would be ahead if he was shirtless.
Let's not find out.
Mr. Turner. Speaking of Mr. Turner, a lot of things are discussed on the MOV. What's happening about what's happening downtown, city of Vienna, city of Parkersburg,
City of
the
Belpre.
county, city of Belpre.
City of Williamstown.
Had an
City of
article
Marietta.
there. Was it
City of Beverly.
They were
Village
talking.
of Beverly.
They were
Not sure.
talking. Was it someone has decided they need a car? An elected official needs a car, and so we were.
You guys were talking about that, but who has too much hair? None of us. I I don't know what Kenny's talking about.
And it was brought up by
He's probably talking about.
Too much hair on your chest, right?
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
a good point was brought up to me by an educated one of my sources that
I don't wax Kenny.
elected official. If you want to not work many hours in a week, become an elected official, because there's no one that can police you once you're elected. As long as you're in office, you don't have to clock in and clock out.
You're gonna have to fill me in. I don't know about the elected official in the car, so something.
Oh.
Like I said, I don't read the News and Sentinel, and evidently I didn't see anybody post about it on MOV. What's happening?
An elected official in Wood County now has a car. He makes over $60,000 a year, and
We're talking commissioner
it would be one of the elected officials in the county.
in the county. Okay,
Which one?
And it would. It's been discussed that particular person does not need a car paid for by the county.
Is it because this particular official has a rental agency of his own?
It could possibly. It may or may not be, but definitely the sheriff needs a car because the sheriff is got to make calls. But when you have an elected official that has a staff, their staffers would be the ones going out and on a day-to-day basis, hourly basis. So it was something that was discussed. I'm going to stay neutral on,
I haven't heard about
if
this.
I would decide if they needed one or not. But it's just another. We're all when we have city council people on, they're always talking about budgeting things. Have we been able to get someone from Wood County on yet? We're still working on that.
Definitely not now.
Way to go, Nathan. I was
way to
working
go.
on it.
But
Yes.
member of the Wood County Commission, something like that. You can come in and speak your mind of, this is
Very
a
much
voice.
so.
I heard Dr. Dunn's about ready to retire, so you should be able to get him on here. He won't be doing much.
That's what I don't understand is why people would not want to come into a position like this, just like Sharon did, just like Bob Mercer did, just like JR did, and answer questions of people. That you are where you're at because we voted you in there. So you should really get out and answer the questions of people. Not everybody goes to the meetings, the council meetings, but they have questions. So, come on our show. Any of you are invited. Get the message out to them. Call them and say that you want to see them on Robert's Report. By the way, all the people that are on here, that if you haven't went over to the Robert's Report page, go over there and like it and follow it. So, but anyway, that's my soapbox for the day. You're elected to go in there to do it. So,
and Rick Modison makes a good point here on the comments. A county commissioner doesn't need a car. Only 24/7 staff should have cars. Sheriff, emergency services, maintenance director, coroner, 24/7 on call people.
And that makes sense. But yes, this is definitely a forum. Robert's Report too.
Yeah, even Sheriff Stevens come in.
Sheriff Stevens is on here right now making the comment. I came in. We had a great conversation.
Yeah.
Had one asshole, Sheriff Stevens, but we took care of him too.
But
We invited him for some coffee, right?
we're giving you a forum to speak your mind and to take questions from the public, which we've discussed. A city council meeting may or may not be the time to, I'm going to go and talk to the city council people, and you
Hello, Melvin.
don't have a real issue. So
How you doing, Melvin?
And Rick also says none of the county commissioners are abusing this.
Oh, there's a siren. I hear a siren. Somebody report what's going on.
Yep. Scanner people. We hear a siren on South Side. What is it?
I had something on
I didn't see that posted on here. Oh.
Actually, it's
that's
a fire.
fire.
Fire
See,
engine.
Now here's the question: how long will it take?
Quick,
Maybe
go
we
paint
need-
the tower.
We need to have not necessarily a response time, but how long after you
Lisa.
hear sirens will we be able to hear? We'll see here on MOV what's happening on Southside. Maybe I should post
The
that.
last thing I saw was people wanted to know where the best place to get a hot dog was and the best sauce.
I didn't see the hot dog one. I saw the hamburger one.
Yeah, so there was a hot dog one. It was, I don't know if it was before or after that.
What did
one,
they
but
say? Did you?
I don't know, because to be honest with you, I mean, like Der Dog House is. I don't get hot dogs that often, and when I do, I get them from Der Dog House. But I like Larry's Dog House in Athens because I'm from down there. So that's
I stopped
my idea.
last week for a hot dog at Shams, but it has now changed its name.
Shams
and
changed its name?
It's now changed its name, and you don't eat in the front anymore.
And
you eat in the
Shams
back.
has hot dogs?
Yes.
Are they lamb?
No, they this regular hot dogs. So
Even though they had hot dogs. I've never eaten there yet.
Bobby
like
Dow, 150 pending posts coming up asking what the sirens are.
oh
Yeah. That's true. The posts have to get approved before they...
Gary's what is this? Gary's got to post it.
Oh,
I was told
crap.
by the city councilor
Hey,
the other day
I'm a moderator. I can post what are the sirens on
There you
South
go.
Side.
The reason
We'll get
the
an
agenda
answer here in a
item is only
minute, by
during the
God.
public forum because of the Indio.
Larry's is the place, according to Luke.
Oh,
Hillbilly hot dogs. How many people out
I've
in
been there.
MOV What's Happening land has been there? I've passed by it 100 times.
I've been there, eating inside of that old bus.
I've drove by.
Lee Ray's.
Lee Ray's.
Leroy's,
it's called
maybe?
now, yeah.
What's Lee Ray's, Katie?
That's what the
Larry's?
Shams
Is that what
is
Larry?
called. That's what.
Shams.
Yeah,
Chan's, yeah. Hey, Chan's going to be on our show here in a couple weeks.
Chan's going to be in a couple weeks. Okay, maybe he'll discuss more what the changes are.
I am
to,
looking
the place
very much forward to talking to the young man because
Did you say Chan's?
with an N. Not.
I thought you
you're
meant
thinking-
Shams on Market
oh,
Street.
My, no.
I was
I'm
like,
talking
that's why I
about-
said,
no,
why
no.
the hell would the
No,
Lebanese
no.
place
I'm
serve
sorry.
fucking hot dogs?
This is the Chan's right here.
Okay.
Local restaurant.
Now
here
I
on
get it.
Rayon. Okay.
Okay. I'm like, why
Just
the hell
change
would
the name.
Shams serve freaking hot
Yeah.
dogs? Okay, now I get it. I didn't love hillbilly hot dogs when I had it, but
Really?
but the ambiance was good. You know, you're in that old bus and you can write on the walls, and yeah, I like that.
Thanks, Kim, for the
Lee Ray's,
hillbilly
okay.
hot dog.
And by the way, Katie, I saw that you posted "I'm here now," but we saw you were here from the very beginning, so I didn't say hi. But
Kim Holbert
yes, you have
loves
been
hillbilly
here
hot dog.
from the start.
Still looking for your questions. This is a special Roberts report taking over.
I posted what are the fire
Ohio
sirens
Valley.
on South Side. Let's see who answers.
There are a lot of sirens that you hear.
What about one of the popular things has been to talk about potholes here lately. Has anybody lost their car in one yet? It's getting pretty ridiculous. And I know. And here's the thing, guys. I mean, there's not a whole lot we can do in the wintertime when the asphalt plants are shut down. We just got to kind of wait it out, run over the patches.
Yeah, don't I know it? I live off a drag strip road in Belpre, and it's still closed. And I know the damn thing's now going to be closed till March or April because there just is no asphalt.
Yeah,
No.
just be careful not to run over the little guys going around. Those poor guys, I have to say, they have been. I've seen them at least 3 times over on Guyon Road, out by the golf course, patching holes, and hopefully we can get them fixed permanently soon.
And it's not well known, but in West Virginia, you don't have county maintenance for roads. It's the West Virginia Department of Transportation covers everything that's not city, and so luckily here in the Mid Ohio Valley, we've got a lot of state routes that are covered in town. But also, if you're out of town, Wood County does not do road repair. That's all. All the county roads are dealt with by the state. So I don't have the exact numbers here, but you would be amazed of how much it costs per foot. I believe it was around $50 a foot. The width. Think about the width of a 2-lane road.
Yeah.
Around plus or minus $50 for 1 foot. So if you've got 1,000 feet in front of your house that you'd like to have paved instead of that's a lot of money. So we are lucky to have the paving projects that we have done, and we're hoping that this the taxes from the Marcellus Shale will.
Hey, before it scrolls off the
converting
screen
that,
here,
so.
Denise serves great hot dogs at the Denise's Bel Air Bistro and Catering.
Yeah, the thing is, if I go there, I never want hot dogs. I want every awesome thing that she posts
the
every
home
day.
cooking, yeah.
That's the special.
I'm surprised that everybody in Parkersburg has not been there yet. If you haven't, Denise's Bel Air's Bistro and Catering over in Belpre, where the old churn used to be.
Just climbing the hill across from the ball fields.
I promise you that if you have not been there, that you go there once and you'll be hooked, especially on the tortellini. We've had the tortellini. We've had their breakfast over there. Scott's had the steak and cheese. I think he had over there, or something or other.
I've got to make it over there. The pasta station.
Oh my God!
would
It's
kill me
not
now.
your average food. I'm telling you, folks. It's not. This is not what you get when you go to a chain restaurant. This is stuff specially made from Denise. She used to be, in case you didn't know, Denise was the one who used to have the place, or she used to run the place at the Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Oh, okay.
And she took a little time out of there afterwards and then come back to the area and decided to open up a restaurant, bistro, over in Belpre. So make sure you go over there and eat. Diana, I agree. Denise is a champ. That's for sure.
I got one response to what are the fire sirens on South Side, but it just says not sure. They're going down Guyon, past a fire truck and an ambulance.
And Rick posted a good thing about the potholes. Anyone who damages a car or state road due to a pothole can file a claim at the West Virginia Division of Claims. Thanks, Rick. What about another popular thing on here is to talk about nostalgic things. So let's get a little nostalgic here.
I like some of those posts.
Want to go way
I
back?
do.
Way,
one of
way
those
back?
ones was the what bars do you remember? Because I
Oh.
like put Remedies and Michaels and
I never got to go in,
Fred's.
but Ribbits and Mugs is that's the place I wanted to go, but I never got to go.
I don't remember.
That's
that
where the
one.
West Banco has their parking lot now.
Brassworks.
Friar Tucks, we were talking
What
about.
was
here.
beside a Remedies? The bar right beside a Remedies on Fifth.
Oh,
Well, there was
Was it Shooters?
the Drunken Parrot.
Fenders.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
Down the
I
hill
don't
was
remember.
Fenders. It was a rock bar, Legends back
Yes,
then.
I remember
Quite a while,
Legends.
so-
That was a little after Remedies.
Now, something really cool. What kind of sparked this up was I was just thinking we're going to have how you pronounce? Is it Todd Stubbe?
Yeah.
Todd
Stubbe.
Stubbe.
Todd Stubbe.
He bought the Dills building, and we're going to have him in February to
Yes,
talk
Lisa.
about. And I just remember the good old days of going into a department store like that and then playing in the clothing racks and then getting my butt beat for playing in the clothing racks. And
Downstairs had the toys. With
downstairs had the toys and the
Where was this now?
Dills.
Okay,
the
see, I was
Dills
never in
building.
Dill's department store. My wife has told me about it, but I never saw it. I do remember Murphy's and their cafeteria in the mall. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Yep.
Remember 95XIL in the mall? You could go up and watch the guys on the air.
I used to get my hair cut at Your Father's Mustache, which was in the same hallway as that.
Remember that?
Had the Pizza Inn, and then you could run over with quarters into the
Remember
skate
when,
patch, play games. Yeah.
When Der Dog House was in the mall?
Yep.
They had beer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
God, my favorite thing was when they had the bird cages with a big aviary bird cage from floor to ceiling there where the food court is, or basically where the play area is for the kids now, and then the ducks.
You could go buy music at National Record Mart,
Oh yeah,
like
NRM.
on vinyl.
Oh, speaking of Dills, too, I forgot to mention as well, Deb Lawrence, her studio is going to be in the Dills building. So those of you that
Ooh.
need photography done, senior pictures, band pictures, man, she'll do anything. We actually have a calendar here somewhere by her, but Deb Lawrence Photography is going to be in the Dills. It's one of Todd's first tenants down there.
Several
So,
thousand
looking
square
forward to
feet. Lots of room.
Yes. And that's also going to be a wedding venue. Speaking of wedding venue, I might as well plug
Oh, here we go.
Oh God, I'm gonna take a break.
Robert's Entertainment.
This guy needs some sheets.
It is yeah, I like that. It is wedding season, so make sure you if you know anybody that's getting married that you point them over to Robert's Entertainment
Would you be the most or one of the most high tech wedding entertainment organizations here in the Mid Ohio Valley?
High tech.
You've got the lights that flash to the beat of the music, and you got the
A lot of people. I think
the boom,
Alec
boom, boom.
Ortiz and Matt Greathouse are probably as tech as have as much tech as you do, right? Would you say so?
Yes.
Who else would be?
Well,
I don't know
You've
a lot
got
of the
there's
guys
there's
these
a bunch
days.
of really good ones in town.
Yeah.
Uncle Duggar is still around.
By the way, does Chris Faust still DJ?
Yeah.
Anybody
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
What is his? What is it called now?
You've got
It's DJ Associates, isn't it?
DJ Associates, and also if you're looking for tables, chairs, for outdoor weddings, things like that, there's event designs that would be
That's
good to
Keith,
check on.
right? Keith McClung?
Misty does it too. Misty Sims has her.
Yeah.
She does the chairs and the.
But I mean,
But
so,
yes,
does
yes.
Jim Johnson at Grant's Rental. I mean, a lot of people do that.
Yes. Actually, Todd's going to be in March. I said February. March 3rd's when Todd's going to be in. It'll be interesting. Talk to him.
But the Dill Center will definitely be a great to be back because it's one of the only. There's not very many venues left that will hold quite a large amount of people and have adequate parking. In a central location like that. We lost the Holiday Inn.
What's some things people would like to see in one of the old Kmart stores? Somebody mentioned the other day that would be the one in Vienna would be a great place for another Planet Fitness.
My wife said the rumor is that Kroger's going to give it another try. And
Really?
possibly there in that building.
Oh,
But I don't know why Kroger would do that again if they already failed there in Vienna with that ginormous place there behind the mall.
I think Kroger's is trying to go a little more towards the natural Whole Foods type of direction.
Yeah.
It was actually talked about over here that they were talking about taking the Kmart and expanding the Kroger's into the Kmart. here on the south
making
side.
that
Making it
place bigger. Yeah.
Hey Kim Holbert, what Brenda are you talking about? I'm sorry. Go ahead and put it up there if you want to. But yeah, I mean, you think about Vienna. There's really Walmart and Aldi's. So
Foodland.
there is Foodland. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about
Foodland.
that. Just
Actually, I
down,
think that's the one that a lot of people go to other than Walmart now. It's a pretty big one.
just down from Scoey's Arcade.
And we'd mentioned that about
Speaking
downtown.
of nostalgia,
Yeah, no kidding.
Mentioning downtown Parkersburg, there's not, you've got to go quite a long way. If you, Todd Stubbe's talking about getting apartments in the Dill Center. If you live there, it would be nice to be able to walk down the stairs and be able to, walk one block and get milk, eggs, bread in case there's a storm. But right now, there's not any place downtown Parkersburg to do that. So,
Gary says Todd will do the show shirtless.
oh,
Well, Todd's probably in a lot better shape than what Mr. Craig Roberts is. So maybe one day we'll surprise you there, Gary. Maybe we'll all come in and no shirts, just for you. Is that Foodland off 13th Street in Parkersburg?
it's Brenda Helms, by the way. Luke Williamson chimed in there.
Oh, thanks, Luke. Foodland, 13th Street. Where's 13th Street, Kenny? I don't know street names like that.
I think he's talking about Plum, right? Actually, would be there off of.
Yeah,
off of-
yeah. Are they still there? Is
Yeah.
Foodland still there? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the places like Foodland and Kroger and Giant Eagle, their food quality is 100 times better than Walmart food. Their meats definitely are. Their produce is. The other night, I bitched a little bit because we spent $50 at Kroger's, but everything we got there
Gary.
was good.
Gary's in the
Foodland in the ghetto.
IGA.
IGA. Thanks, Diana.
I do have to mention somebody on my Facebook. They got me that you can buy milk at the new Sheets. So there's been lots of
Yeah,
positive.
but my wife
for the Sheets
priced milk there, and it was $4 something.
oh, okay.
So,
You're
but
paying a premium.
buying it at a convenience store.
Scott, have you started moonlighting there yet?
No, but I have ordered there a few times now. So I got hooked on this burrito they have. They have a burrito called a steak and taters burrito, and it has the shredded Philly steak in it, and it has tater tots, and plus it has what they call their boom boom sauce, which is like a little hot sauce.
It's portable meat and
Yeah.
potatoes. That's what I got. I got the idea.
And then
I
it
like
has the rest of the what you would expect on a burrito: tomatoes and lettuce and onions. And so I've ordered that like every time I've ordered so far, because I ordered that the first time and it was so good that I can't seem to order anything else.
I tried one of the Italian subs and I was really happy with that. I didn't get it toasted, but definitely I've been 100%. I've been happy on, and the prices are reasonable on the made to order food. You mentioned about the milk, but some things are convenience.
I love ordering off the app, though, man. I order off the app, and you go over there and you put your phone up to it. They scan it, and then I've got even a gift card in there. So I just flip my phone and then show it to them again, and they scan that. It comes off my gift card. They give me a receipt. I go right over to the freaking counter. I grab my bag, and I'm out of there. It's amazing.
I'm just curious on how many people still shop by price when it comes to
So
food.
Jennifer Pearsall makes a comment, though, that maybe the reason that it's more expensive, it may be kind of like Broughton's. She said Smith's milk is at Sheetz, and it's the best. So,
Okay.
Jenny, actually,
and you pay more for Broughton's when you go buy it around here too. So maybe it's the name.
yeah, actually, Jenny, that's a good point. I
Bobby
know,
Dollar lives at Sheetz.
at one point, I know one of the advertisements for Broughton's in the area was that their milk had the longest expiration date than anybody else's, but. So maybe it's because
Well, when you get it fresh, when you get it that fresh, because a lot of the Marietta dairies actually provide them a lot of their milk. So
my dad used to work for Florence Milk. Do you remember the Florence Dairy? You might.
I don't
No,
personally. But
here in they used to supply all the. Well, I think they still produce milk, but I think it's under a sub name or different name or something or other now. But they used to do all the milk for the schools in the area. Little milk cartons out. That was one thing I remember.
Do they not do that anymore? When you're in grade school, do you not get the little boxes anymore?
Nope.
Well,
it's in bags.
So
little
what-
you
baggies
don't get
now.
the cardboard.
What
Oh,
do the
wow.
kindergartners do?
I was just
Because they
watching
say-
Kindergarten Cop
Yeah.
today. I was watching Kindergarten Cop today with Schwartz. It's not a tumor.
'Cause they used to
But
save the
anyway,
cartons. And
yeah,
then
they had the cartons like
Yeah.
we used to
Man,
have.
those things would sound like a bomb going off when you blow them up and stomp them in the
Oh, I
cafeteria.
remember doing that. I totally forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I got put on the wall a few times for that.
But I remember it turned into like an art project because the kindergartners and first graders, they'd make the cartons into something, like for Valentine's Day or like Easter or something like that.
Yeah.
That's nostalgia right there. That's going away.
Damn.
The lunch lady, is and most of the schools now is
sloppy joes?
Yeah.
made them extra sloppy for you.
most of the lunch
Adam
stuff
Sandler, if
is
you don't
now instant. So
Their chili used to be the best. And, matter of fact, I remember when I was in grade school when we went to one of their school carnivals, Mom and Dad bought or won a big jug of the chili that they made. They made it, and you remember school chili, don't you? That was the good stuff. That you got the chili, you got the celery, you got the pear, and then you got the peanut butter cookie.
I'm still thinking of the pizza. That's the one
I
remember
like school
in the
pizza.
tray.
Yeah, I like school pizza.
Sheet pizza.
The square one.
Yep.
What the heck happened with? That's one thing that I don't get, and that's one of the things they've changed.
Thanks, Jennifer.
They've changed.
I like Gay
with
Robot, too.
School.
The school
Hey,
lunch.
guys.
Why they've changed the school lunch?
That's Nick Swartzen.
Yeah, they did it now to where it has to be, healthy and stuff. I know what they're trying to do, but there's some kids that just plain don't eat the food because it's not good.
Well, it's trying to fix one thing and not fixing the other. Is the number one problem with teen or adolescent obesity has nothing to do with what they're eating. It has to do with they're not active. They're
That's what I was getting ready to
inside
say.
playing on a computer, playing on a phone.
Things were different back then. We had our bicycles. We went up the street, played backyard football. We
Touch football.
We were
yeah.
outside.
Tag football.
Oh no, we did full tackle.
Oh.
We didn't mess around.
That's why you're suffering from CPS today.
Well, that's been mentioned. Even I've got a good friend that works at one of the local bowling alleys, and he said the people that bowl are on a regular basis are 30 or above. That the younger kids are not. They're worried about sports declining. They're worried about all the injuries.
Let me tell you something. As a former bowling league person in the Emerson Bowling League on Monday night, the thing's too fucking long, dude. By the time January 1st gets here and Christmas is over, I'm ready to fucking shoot myself because I got to go back from January to May now. I'm like, dude, if it was just for me, and people can chime in here if they think the same thing, but this is just me. If it was just from August to January, it would be fine
The league
for me.
is a little too long.
That's the problem for me. I don't want to bowl 9 months out of the year, especially at what is it, $14 a day now?
Mm-hmm. It becomes a job once it gets down to about.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like you're working another job.
Somebody asks if you want to do something. I got a bowl tonight.
Mm-hmm. I see freaking Jay Morris. He's friends with both of us, and you see him complaining about it, and he likes to bowl.
Yeah, well, I love to bowl. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't like going that long. You get into the spring and warmer months. You don't want to spend your evenings every evening. Well, not every evening, but you don't want to have to go bowling.
Sure.
For some reason or other, mine.
Lots of emergency vehicles on Belmont Road.
Somebody get on it. I got to reload my thing here.
Nobody ever answered about the fire sirens on South Side.
Oh.
So people are slipping, man. I guess Sunday night is not the time that people get on MOV What's Happening.
No, but there's plenty of people on here tonight. There's lots of people watching.
Yeah.
I'm pretty. Thanks for everybody tuning in. This is.
We have 37 simultaneous viewers as we speak.
We are going to do this every month, the last Sunday of every month. So make sure you get your dysfunctional posts out there.
Okay, I got an update on our poll. Who is your favorite MOV What's Happening admin? Okay, leading the votes right now still is who the hell is Bobby, Katie, and Terry. Bobby Dowler is now tied with none of the above. So there you go. Great poll.
A lot of posts on MOV about IHOP, which it's a pancake place.
Yeah.
People.
Hey, Kenny Cobb, I gotta say this embarrassingly. I have never been to a Tough Man show, and I want to go to one. I've never taken the time to do it. I really want to go to one too, and I just either I can't find somebody who wants to go with me, or the timing just hasn't worked out, or whatever. But
seriously, it's this weekend.
I've never been to the actual finding part, but I did get to DJ the ring girl competition several years in a row.
Why would they have it the same weekend as the Super Bowl?
I don't know. Excuse me. Well, a little bit of Bobby Brady there. I don't know unless is it over before Sunday? If so, then
maybe so.
Then
Actually, it might be Friday, Saturday. No, it's Saturday, Sunday.
Terry.
Anyway, I think that Mike Shepard said sometime or other whenever he does an event that we could do our podcast there. I would love to do a podcast of one of his fights. I think it would be awesome to be able to talk to some of the fighters and get some. It'd be like Sunday afternoon in the old days with the WrestleMania. I'm gonna beat you down, yeah.
Ted Dillon says to tell you Impractical Jokers is next weekend.
What's up there, Ted? You're right. Practical Jokers. We're going up with whole crew actually. Ted, his wife, Rick Dillon, his wife, Mark Hively, and his wife. So that ought to be pretty.
Oh, Terry Taylor's stepson is in the Tough Man contest.
Ooh,
wow,
that's pretty cool.
Now I kind of really want to go now. It's Friday and Saturday night, she said. So that answers the question. Hey, let's transition into Super Bowl, by the way.
Yep.
Because something new came up this past week about the NFL and them refusing a commercial, and it kind of re-sparked the whole controversy. And I actually saw some people saying they're not going to watch the Super Bowl, and I wanted to see whether people were bothered by that. Did you start watching the NFL again if you stopped watching it when the playoffs started?
I friend requested that dude, by the way, the one that
Are you referring to the veteran?
Yeah. The veterans commercial that they, something about standing or something like that. And
I friend requested that dude that was supposedly the head of that, and he hasn't accepted yet. I'm sure he got 500 friend requests whenever that come up. But that is an interesting. It's an interesting topic there. I'd like to know how many people stopped watching the NFL over
that. I would like to know how many people stopped watching the NFL over that. Oh yeah, and Tom Schreckengost. Hopefully I said that right. Talked about that Vince McMahon announced this week that he's kicking off the XFL again.
I heard him actually. He was on.
I just hope Rod Smart's part of it because I want a "He Hate Me" jersey. That's my favorite part of the. That was my favorite part of the whole XFL was "He Hate Me." Rod Smart.
He was on one of the news channels talking. I'm going to say probably Fox since that's what I'm listening to most of the time. But he was talking about how he would absolutely not allow that would be in the rules that everybody had to stand up for the national anthem. I mean, how many people? Let's just kind of get a poll on that. I'm kind of be interested to know how many people on MOV What's Happening that's listening right now think that they have a right to kneel or they should stand.
I'm both. I think they should stand because I personally would stand and I personally would not protest the anthem. But I think that this is America and.
I think
you have the right to, that's a free speech right that you have.
I think it still has a lot to do with what we're facing with social media and things. Is growing up in Vienna, I went to Vienna school. I'm a second grader, and
I said
the teacher says, "Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance."
Mm-hmm.
There was no question. It wasn't a right or a wrong. Right. It's like this is what you're going to do.
You just didn't even think about it. You just didn't even think about it. It was part of patriotism. It was part of honoring your country. It was part of something you were taught to do, and same here.
I was watching an interesting documentary.
I like what Nathan just said. Have a right, but sadden so many want to sit.
Not to sit.
And so it makes me think, and you're going down the same. You and I are going down the same path. It's the fact that people don't have the same respect for it that some of the rest of us do.
But a lot of things have gotten complicated. I mean, like they were talking about on college campuses now of that in the 60s you could protest everything in a peaceful manner, and now it's more about you're protesting. We don't like the idea that this guy's going to talk about, so we're going to disrupt his speech or whatever. But they don't look at it as though that it's a free speech issue that you have to hear the good and the bad.
Yeah, and then see, and here's another thing that
I'm with you, Kenny. By the way,
here's another thing that somebody was brought up, and actually, what's what Kenny's talking about right now is that if you're being paid to do a job during that time, should you actually be protesting while you're being paid to do a job? And that gets off into a whole other aspect of it too.
Yeah, and the point is you said that they have the right. Technically, they don't have the right though when it comes to
if you're doing a job, if you're being employed, right?
If you go by the rules that are in the NFL, Roger Goodell could enforce it.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that, and I think the owners could too. I mean, there was I don't know if it really happened or not, but there was something that said like Jerry Jones was one of the people who said he wouldn't allow it, and so and John, you're saying the same thing there. They're on the clock.
And see, it's going to be interesting. That's kind of what we were just talking about with the Super Bowl. NBC's running it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
They are making a point to show the people that they're making it a advertisement scheme for them. They're saying we're going to show the people kneeling regardless of whether they're kneeling or not. It's I don't know.
It's been said if you're not happy living in this country, leave.
So you got that too. I just don't like the idea that it's been politicized. I don't like the idea that it seems to be liberal versus conservative, Democrat versus Republican on the whole thing. When I don't think it's.
It needs to be said that
it's not all about that.
People rights wise are freer now than than ever before, but the controversy stems from it's not enough. You know, if you give, I love bringing back, because I'm a fan of disco and early R&B. Go back to 1969 and research what happened at the Stonewall riots. I mean, about, you know, if gay rights, lesbian rights, you know, Caucasian rights, African American rights, that all opened up right in 1970. Well, that's been, you know, we're going on over 40 years now, and it's like, well, what about us? Well, what about us? It's like, well, things take time, and you have to have patience. You know so, you know, swift acts of legislations don't normally fix things. That things need to be thought out.
Yeah, and Nathan, I don't know that it was, you know, specifically a president that fanned the flames. I don't want to get into that as much as it just the what's the word I'm on. The overall atmosphere was just is different. I mean, it's not. I don't know that he, you know, said, oh, it's okay, go ahead and protest it, but.
Well, it is always true that a popular myth will always take over an unpopular truth. So if you have a large number of people that don't want to believe that, I mean, we can go back as far as, well, the earth is not round, it's flat. Well, there's going to be controversy, and there's going to be hopefully not bloodshed, but in the middle there of, well, we're right, and we're right, and we're a small group, and you're wrong, and you're a great big group. That, you know, there's definitely going to be something, you know, hopefully peaceful discussion, but sometimes it turns into
now one thing I do think, though, is I don't think that even I am a Trump supporter. I don't think he should get as involved in it as he is. That's just my personal opinion.
Well, and that's where I was going with that. So you can say that yes, maybe Obama helped fan the flames of black protests, but you can also say Trump also helped it become a big political issue.
Trump's not their boss.
Yeah,
Roger Goodell's the boss. The owners are the bosses. So
I just think it goes both ways. There's lots to blame there, but it really comes down to it really comes down to the fact that you can think it's wrong, which I do. You know, I not necessarily think it's wrong, but you can think that the national anthem is sacred, and you should stand for it, and you should respect the flag, and you should respect the anthem. But yeah, you can still think that people have a right to protest. They have freedom of speech. Blah blah blah. So. I don't know, and like you said, then that all brings up whether you're on the clock and whether it's a thousand different things.
But it's not, you know, and at that point is when it separates between being a fan and being an employee or a boss to an employee. It's So
I guess
gets deep.
with me though, and I guess I just don't understand. I don't understand if you got, let's say you got a minority of people who do it out of all the employees of the entire NFL. I don't believe in punishing the entire NFL by not watching a product when you've got all these people who still are standing and respecting the flag and
although I'd be pissed off
right.
if I was I'd be pissed if I was the ones that was standing and the other ones were kneeling and they were losing ratings because of it.
Well, not only that, you got your team chemistry there too. I mean, what's it do?
Yeah.
What's it do for your team in the locker room when you've got half the guys want to kneel and half the guys want to respect the flag, or probably not even half, but.
Well, you saw it in Pittsburgh there last year when the Army Ranger guy come out of the tunnel there and stood for the national anthem, and then after the fact, Big Ben wished that he would have come out with it.
And Ted, you're totally right. They are doing it because they're using their voice or their star quality or whatever you want to call it. They're using that fame that they have to promote their cause.
But I think the problem that I see in the entertainment industry is you see it's not somebody who was an activist who nobody knew about, and they went from having 10 followers to having 1 million followers because of a certain belief. You've got an actor. That's what they do. They're in movies, and they're using a forum like the Academy Awards to give how they're happy about their political beliefs on totally out of context and not in the right forum. That's where I have a problem, and that's where this the not supporting. It's you can, if you're a football player and you don't want to stand, well, stand anyway and keep that inside and be tolerant. I think that's a big word that we're losing here as time moves on, of the tolerance that people have of all races and men and women and things, of that there needs to be a certain amount of tolerance level just to keep the world moving.
Yeah.
You can't stop.
I agree, Rick. By the way,
we've all Craig and I have both worked in businesses where like a plant or something like that. That if we stop the machine for every single teeny tiny thing, we would never get any work done.
Yeah.
That you've got to let it, and some people are going to get offended, but you can't stop every little thing. That the train has to keep moving,
Yeah.
and sometimes that's hard.
Back to the comments now, and Rick, what you said, you totally nailed it. People who watch award shows, sports, blah blah blah, they're doing it to be entertained, not to see political opinions and that type of thing. Man, it scrolled off the screen already, but I was going to talk about what Nathan was talking about. But he said that basically they're protesting over police brutality. That's the whole thing, is that, to me, are the protests even necessary? We know that they're protesting over police brutality. I've seen the news stories where I've thought that there have been minorities or black people or African Americans or whatever you want to say who have been treated wrong by law enforcement. Yeah. I've also seen it the other way, where John Lawrence just said, I have a novel idea. If you don't want to get the shit beat out of you, don't break the law. I've seen that too, where when as soon as they roll down the window and the cop's there, they've got a fucking attitude. They're like, what the fuck do you want? Why are you fucking stopping me? Whereas me, when the officer approaches me, I put my hands on 9 and 2 because I've got a concealed carry license, and I'm like, officer, I have a concealed carry permit, and I am or am not carrying, and I'm saying yes sir, no sir, and that type of thing, and so that goes both ways too. But I guess what I'm saying is, I, as a white guy, believe that there are probably some areas where African Americans, blacks, minorities are not treated properly by law enforcement, or like you say, you have your bad apples in law enforcement out there, and it doesn't make all black people bad, and it doesn't make all law enforcement bad. It's you have your bad apples on both sides. But again, does it need to be protested? We know that it exists. We see it in the media.
Right.
Or at least does it need to be protested, by stars on television anyway.
I've been trying to figure out how we've gotten from a point of being safe to being unsafe, but maybe what's even more complicated is, we all went to elementary school and all the doors were unlocked all the time.
Yeah.
When we were in high school, well, actually my brother, when he was in high school, you could have a gun rack in the back of your truck, and you could have a 12 gauge there, and you could have shells in there. And there wasn't anybody getting shot. And I'm not talking about there's one guy with a pickup truck. There's, let's say there's 50 people with a shotgun in the back window of their pickup truck that they drove to school, and there's nobody getting shot. Mm-hmm. And all the doors are open, and you didn't have to have hallways like they have at PHS now. So you don't go outside to walk to the field house now. You go through a hallway. So you're basically in a controlled system from the time you can't walk to lunch anymore, because that's an in danger for liability. Of course, there was a smoke hole available when I was in my sophomore year in high school. But it's interesting to explore the idea of, with all the policies and with all the things going on, are we making America safer, or are there other unseen things that are making it actually the more we try, the less safe the world is. I mean, it was brought up. What was a couple of guys? The legislatures want to make the speed limit 80 miles an hour on a couple of the interstates. Well, okay, but at the same time, they want to raise the smoking age to 21. So is it going to make it safer? Is it not going to make it safer? Who knows? I mean, it was just on the news again that someone has gone to a school and shot the place up. So what do we need to have the teachers have concealed weapons permits?
I like what Luke says. I think we should read what Luke says and move on. What do you think?
Bigger problems to solve than worrying about NFL players standing or not standing. And that's what we're talking about moving on. It's like, well, okay, it's an issue. I acknowledge it, but I got to worry about how I'm going to pay my electric bill. So
are there any recent comments on the MOV What's Happening page? I almost haven't looked on there for a little bit. Let's see here.
I haven't seen a lot tonight. Am I in the right spot?
I just got a comment on my post about sirens on South Side. It says they are here on Belmont Road down from Guyon School.
Is it at the school?
And I said down from.
Just down from. Okay.
Guyon's the one they just tore down? Somebody bought it?
No, that was Rayon.
Rayon, okay.
Yeah, that's actually going to be a retirement place, from what I understand. By the way, have you seen that huge retirement place that they're building up behind the old Ravens trailer place? It looks like a resort back in there. It's huge. Let's see. There's some good comments here. Who are or were local boxers over the past 30 years? I know about Mr. Trough. Who else? Bert Hayes, yeah.
The only thing I can think of is that guy who was McNeamer, Dave McNeamer.
Dave
he was
McNeamer, yeah.
He was champion for a long time, wasn't he? Wasn't he like state champion or something like that?
Yeah, and I'm surprised that
Bert Hayes' protege, yes.
I'm surprised nobody put Bill Tibbs down here. If he hasn't, I don't know if anybody out in What's Happening land remember Bill Tibbs. He was actually a school teacher. He played. He was American government. Gary Wolf. Gary Wolf, is he the one that looks like you, Tom? There's one of those guys that I swear looks just like you, or at least a brother. Might be because you all have the same hairline as me, but I'm not 100% for sure. But is anyone having trouble with sudden blink?
I got a buddy who calls it sausage link.
I will say here recently.
What do you have here? You have sudden link here?
Sudden link for
because we
internet.
We have good internet here.
Yeah, sudden link for the internet, which it does great.
But you're paying for like 9 gigs or something.
I've been trying to figure out on my iPad that I'll hit a link and nothing happens, and I have to hit it again. And I don't know if that has to do with my router. That is something not here at the man cave, but at some other locations I'm looking up to.
Thanks, Kenny.
But,
yeah,
that's the thing is sometimes your router just gets old and you just need to throw it away and spend $30 and get another router. So you can't always blame it on the actual service coming to your house. So.
I as an IT guy, I can tell you I've had my share of bad routers. I have a really good one right now. It's a TP-Link, by the way. If anybody wants a good router, they make good ones.
TP-Link?
Yes.
And password, you want to password protect your internet so you're not getting all your bandwidth used up by the neighbor or someone sitting out in their car in front of your house because you've got an open link on your internet. So.
High-speed chase this was on 26. That's a little ways back, but I never did really hear what happened. High-speed chase just ended Terrapin Apartments. There was like 20 cops chasing this guy all around.
Was that the one that started at the mall? They were talking about there was a chase that started at the mall with a shoplifter at JCPenney or something.
Oh, yeah,
like
I did see something about that, actually. Anyway,
Oh, we're having to go back a day. You're right there. We haven't had many comments.
The scanner
Not
people
many
don't comment as
posts.
much.
well, there's a scanner page now, which I mean we don't want to.
I liked it when the
promote,
scanner
but
people commented on here, though. That's all. I got my
Oh.
news from this page for a long time.
So there's been a move that they've got created their own page.
By the way, thanks to everybody that's went over to the Roberts Report page and liked our page. I have been noticing the numbers have been going up. So if you haven't and you just logged on, make sure you go over to the Roberts Report page and like and follow us so you can keep up with our podcasts. And I was just looking here. The members, 29. I didn't realize that these stats were actually on here. 29,552 members.
Here's going back about a day ago.
Okay.
The guy is wanting to know: has anybody ever filed for an ADA compliant complaint against the city? Now, for those that don't understand what the ADA compliant is, that it's now mandated by all new businesses that you have certain things that you have to do to comply to be able to get your building approved, inspected, and you get that you're allowed to open. And that could be that you need an elevator. That means you need a ramp. Some older buildings, if they're lucky and they're continuous ownership, they don't have to do that. But some things are actually a hindrance to the business owner. I mean, it's like, well, you've got 2 steps going into your business, and now you have to have a ramp. Well, ADA compliance says you have to have an inch for every inch raise on the step. You have to have a foot of ramp. So if you got to raise 10 inches, that's a ramp 10 feet long. So, it doesn't take long. I saw a house in Vienna. Their whole front yard is now taken up with an aluminum ramp that a company installed so that they can go up the 3 steps into the house in front. And I thought, wow. But, it's something that we have to deal with. And they commented that they're on this same post on MOV What's Happening. Their 16-year-old requires a power wheelchair to be able to get to and from places. So I remember back in the day, you'd grab somebody, somebody would grab on each side and, haul them up the stairs or something like that. But there's some things are definitely expensive when you're on the business side, and that's a good thing to bring up on MOV What's Happening if you've got questions about to be able to find out, well, why does a certain business or why does a certain organization do this, or why don't they have this? Well, it might be the way, how much it costs, and how they have to use their funding. Maybe they applied for a grant. Maybe
I got one here from 4 hours ago, guys, and I thought everybody knew this. It says, so all the big car dealerships are closed on Sunday around this town. I thought everybody knew that, because and like somebody made a comment here, said exactly. That's when we go to the dealerships and look around on Sunday, is because we can do it in peace and not get harassed. So that's exactly what I do. If I want to go look at a car, I'll go. I'll go on a Sunday and know that I won't be hit by some guy looking for commission from me.
it's too bad the restaurants and the car dealers couldn't get.
And hey,
together.
thanks, Craig, for just totally ignoring me and just not even making a comment. What did I just say?
Yeah.
I was actually.
What did I just say, Craig?
The restaurants are closed on Monday.
The car lots are closed on Sundays.
All right, just checking.
Car lots closed on Sunday. Restaurants are mostly closed on Mondays. So
So Da Vinci's, right? Who else? Is anybody else closed
actually,
on Monday?
Columbo's.
Columbo's is?
Columbo's. Yeah, Columbo's is closed on Monday. I don't know if Bel Air's is ever closed.
They're closed on Sundays.
it has to
Are
do
they
with
closed on
deliveries.
Sundays?
Yeah.
It has to do with the delivery.
I didn't realize that.
Food.
And she's only open till 4 on. Well, she's only open till 4 on Saturday, but that's because she's open for breakfast. Yeah.
Right.
So I think she's normally open for like an 8-hour period.
Monday's a big ordering day and inventory day and things like
That's
that.
a good point.
So, any of the Vienna listeners out there, a message popped in here, and I was just curious on it, if anybody knew anything about it. Something about, let's see, something about giving senior citizens a tax break in Vienna.
A tax break?
Yeah, there was Councilman Connolly, Vienna, just tried to give senior citizens a tax break, and RAP got it voted down. So maybe, Rick Modest, why don't you elaborate on that a little bit if you want to put it out there on Facebook land? There was some kind of a thing where the taxes, sales taxes or something or other, that they were going to hold out and help the, it says we lost audio. Somebody said we lost audio, but said they were going to help senior citizens, give them a tax break. But
We are not lost. We do not have audio loss right now. So that would be Bethany.
okay. Deb Lawrence. Oh, thanks, Deb. She said she mentioned about it. She shared us.
Hey, I did see another IHOP post, and it was mostly positive. I was looking. This one was posted 2 hours ago. Opinions on the new IHOP. One person said, waited for 30 minutes. Food and servers were awesome. The next person says, waited for 40 minutes. It was totally worth it. So hardly seeing any negative posts. I saw a few, like when it first opened up, but not so much now. So maybe they had a little bit of growing pains at first.
I'll tell you what, that's one thing you got to say for this town. We could be in depression.
And a new restaurant would pop up.
In a restaurant. Well, you think about it, though. We could, even when the economy was in the shitter, you go up to Outbacker was still a 2-hour wait.
Yeah. You know what amazes me, though, is so let's think of what all's come in lately. So we've had Cheddar's, we've got Applebee's, we've got 2 Applebee's, if you count Marietta.
Right.
We've got Ruby Tuesday, we've got Outback, we've got Logan's, we've got Texas Roadhouse, we've got, that's just your chain. You got your sub shops like what's the Firehouse and what's the Philly place. Anyway, you name all these restaurants that have come in, but do you notice that, damn, you still got to wait. It's like you have more restaurants than you ever had like 15 years ago or 20 years ago, but then you still have to wait.
It costs.
Yeah, Popeyes and Sheetz. Thanks, Rick.
It costs so much, though, to go to even the grocery store. I mean, the other day, we went and got stuff for... Whoops. We went and got stuff to make chicken wings. We got milk, chicken wings, and cereal, and some sauces and stuff. And we ended up going out of there with $50 worth of shit. I mean, you figure, and that was just for pretty much one night. You imagine a family of 5, going to the grocery store, like in the olden days, and getting enough food to do you for a 2-week period. How much you think it would cost? Just off the top of your head.
It would depend on what you were.
Well, I mean,
buying,
even if you go basic, even if you go with pot roasts and roast beefs and burgers and what you normally used to have, potatoes and stuff like that, I guarantee you would be easily in the $500 range with a 2 weeks
easily,
worth, 2 weeks worth of food
for a nuclear family.
Yeah.
Husband, wife, and 2 kids. Yeah, easily $500.
And you go out to eat, and the one thing that you don't get is so much as leftovers. But anymore, though, you go to Texas Roadhouse, 4 people you can eat for about $35, $40 maybe. And you get 3 sides, peanuts to eat before you start, rolls. I mean, I don't know. I think that's the big thing. That's why people are eating out. Is it costs so much to go to the grocery store. There you go, Diana. $500 every 2 weeks. Family of 5.
I'll tell you where you can eat. We used to eat there. You can't so much now, but maybe as short as 10 years ago or something. 2010. We could eat there for $20 or less. Is freaking Cracker Barrel, and that place is cheap. And then the other one is Cheddar's. Cheddar's is incredibly cheap to eat at.
Now, it has been said that there was a specific restaurant that is the same. They have the same servers, everything, and part of what's slowed service down is the social media and the phones. It's hard to get people to look up from their phones, or they want to take a picture of the food or something like that. So it's something I can believe definitely contributes to service being slower.
You're going to say something about Cracker Barrel?
Oh, I was just going to say I have wore our family out on Cracker Barrel. I mean, it's just being right out there. Everybody asks, and it's usually Cracker Barrel or Taco Bell for me.
I just love it because I like to eat breakfast any time of the day. First of all, so that automatically puts places like Cracker Barrel on.
I like it. I like it, and it's reasonable. Plus, I love
their fried chicken. That's my favorite thing out there.
Yeah, Missy
and hash brown casserole.
Missy and the rest of them, they're not fans of warm out.
But you and me both, dude. I like Taco Bell too. I could eat Taco Bell 7 nights a week.
I like getting the most from them.
I do. I'm serious. I love it, Nathan.
Yep.
I do love the Taco Bell stays open late too. So
your brother does too, by the way.
He does.
When I worked in radio, Doug and I frequented the Taco Bell in Vienna.
They do the late night menu, and I think Burger King's got late night now too.
Terry, you know what? The Point of View, I forgot about that place.
God, I love that place.
I never ate there.
I'll tell you what, when Bob Taylor ran that place, it was exquisite. The food was awesome. And I tell you, I talk about this all the time, and I'm going to talk about it again. I loved crab and lobster bisque. Oh, if I could have the recipe for Bob Taylor's crab and lobster bisque.
I love
that. It was fantastic. I got it every time I went there. And they had a breakfast brunch on Sundays that was to die for. It was just a fantastic place to eat and great view both.
Nathan Rax. Yeah, I forgot about Rax. Now we have Arby's, which is basically the same as Rax. Now our Rax is it's
a coffee shop, and it's awesome.
It is awesome.
Arby's has the meats.
We have the meats.
The Royal Rumble is on. Good show. Does that mean you're leaving, Mike?
Are you related to Bob, by the way? Terry? I never thought about that until just now put 2 and 2 together.
Mary B's is good for breakfast. I always forget about them, but the only thing I don't like is, and all their food is great over there, and their servers are great. But man, you walk in there and it's like you're staring at people. Why? Because their waiting area is like right in the middle of all the booths. So,
okay.
So you're standing there with lasers.
I have not been.
Are you going to get up out of that seat and let us sit down? Because you're not eating anymore. So get up.
I can't.
Gary, Gary, I didn't know she was making any yet. So when I had requested that, right when you guys first opened, there wasn't any lobster bisque yet. There was just she crab soup. So
now, see, I've never been in Mary B's.
Oh, good God! Now,
but I will tell you what, I was in there.
It is good.
Their pies are awesome.
I was in there when it was called Chubby's because
I've been in there when it was Chubby's, but usually that was late night after karaoke though at the Cameo.
That's right. Yeah, if you can remember when that part that stuck out.
What about Chicken Charlie's?
I painted that.
Chicken Charlie's.
I was in there for
Cameo nights. I've been to Chubby's many a time.
No.
Hey, I'm curious out there in MOV land, how many people have been to a Debbie? What's her last name?
Beckett. Debbie Beckett or Tammy Drake.
Show. Yeah, Tammy Beckett or Tammy Drake karaoke show.
Oh,
yeah, the Cameo. Man, that used to be the place on Friday nights. And their beer was good.
Debbie still does the Hill House on Saturdays. They used to do Fast Track when it was open because I went to just about everywhere they went. They would go to My Way some. They were probably at the Wheel when it was open too, I'm guessing.
Man, Debbie's system would frickin' rock, though. I mean, that was one thing she always took pride in, I remember. I mean, she still does, so.
Yeah.
Fast Track seems just like yesterday, but geez.
Yeah, there were people, when we talked about it one day a few weeks ago, people didn't even remember what Fast Track was.
There used to be a place
Thanks, Gary.
Where Ranchero is up in the traffic circle. And nobody ever remembers it. I'm the only one that must have ever ate there.
What was it again?
The Fisherman's Cove?
No, it was called Mr. Sub.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Did you ever go to Blimpie when it was on North End there on Emerson Avenue in that gas station?
No.
There's a Blimpie sub place there. It was like what is the very first one when you go up the hill on Emerson?
Oh, BP?
Yeah, that's the first gas station on the right. It had a Blimpie sub in it.
Yeah, Mr. Sub. We used to go there after baseball games.
You know
when
where
I was
I've
in
never
Little League.
been?
Where's that?
Broadway Sandwich Shop.
What?
Are you
Never
serious?
been.
There's one by the high
Ever.
school now.
Ever.
There's one at
Never been.
PHS.
Never been to the original. Never been to that. Never been.
Dude, until you've had the diarrhea looking
Well, see,
hot dog sauce.
everybody says you got to go there, and then they tell me how shitty it is. So it's like, how are you going to sell? You know, my wife talks about being when you guys were in high school and green hot dogs.
It's not shitty, man. It's a nostalgic part of
Call it
Parkersburg.
shitty Smitties.
Yeah, and it's not shitty though. It's
okay.
You want to talk about eating for cheap? You can eat a shitload for cheap there.
Haven't heard of Struggleberg. Is that a group I should be in, Nathan?
Well, I would say it's got some similarities to the MOV. What's
I haven't been to CJ's Italian
but
Kitchen either.
It's hard to recommend another group when we're definitely promoting and talking about MOV. What's happening tonight?
Gotcha. Have you been to CJ's Italian Kitchen? I haven't been there either.
Is that the one that's up on?
It's on Rosemar.
Yeah, I've heard about it, but I've never been there.
JP's, of course, I've been to several times. Was just there for a Christmas party that they catered, actually, and the food was really good.
They had, don't they have homemade ranch or something or other? Ranch and chips. I used to get their homemade chips and
I don't know.
ranches. Anyway. Sebastian's.
Oh, I like Sebastian's. I like the fountain. I mean, I guess I like the atmosphere in Sebastian's as well as.
Yeah, the
I liked,
atmosphere was awesome.
I actually like the what was it called after Sebastian's?
River City.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
River City. I used to eat that
Murdoch's was a
Gold Rush chicken that they had in there because Andy Walker told me about how good that was. You got to have Gold Rush chicken. You got to have Gold Rush chicken. So I finally went in there and tried it, and Gold Rush chicken was pretty damn good.
Yeah, Sebastian's. I remember for prom and during high school and stuff. That was where all the people with a lot of money went to eat their dinner at.
Oh, you know where else I've never eaten, and I want to because I want to have schnitzel, and that's at Elke's Diner. I've never eaten at Elke's Diner.
Where's that at?
It's a German diner that serves schnitzel, among other things, in Vienna. And I've seen pictures of people who have eaten there. Or not? I mean, the food of people who have eaten there. Like you said,
Wiener
everybody has to take a picture
Wiener
of their
Schnitzel. Here, there you go.
their food, right? Well, anyway, their
Bangers and
food
mash.
looked fantastic.
This week, I'm going to take a picture of everything that I eat and post it. Not really.
I was going to say, who wants to see Taco Bell bags?
You believe my wife had Taco Bell without me the other night?
No way.
Yeah.
Was she just trying to make you mad?
When I had it, actually, was it last night? I think it was last night. She had Taco Bell. She had the new Taco Bell French fries, and she said they were awesome.
I have those now, huh? I'm gonna have to make a stop
Taco
on the way
French
home,
fries?
dude.
They have
I have to make a pit stop.
you know, like the Nacho Bel Grande.
Mm-hmm.
They have a fried Bel Grande type of
Ah,
thing.
very interesting.
Their little chicken quesadilla things off of the $1 thing are pretty good.
Different than the regular chicken quesadilla.
Yeah, because you can get shredded chicken.
Oh, okay.
And it's spicy. If you like spicy stuff, you'd like it.
Nathan Warsham says yes, Gold Rush. On our and nacho. Tom said nacho fries. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I think
Yep.
that's what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yep.
They have a. By the way, have you heard of? There's a chain. In Athens. They have a chain restaurant there called Taco John's. Have you heard of Taco John's before? So it's kind of like a similar chain to Taco Bell, and it's a fan favorite down there.
Nope, never heard of it. What in the hell was that a picture of? Somebody
Where was Nick Swisher yesterday, Michael Davis? I didn't even know he was in town. We were talking like, is he even playing baseball for anybody right now? I know the Reds Caravan was in town. I don't know if that was yesterday though. That was. So tell us more about that, Michael.
I think he did make an
Oh
appearance.
wait, he was wasn't he inducted into the MOV Sports Hall of Fame or Parkersburg High School Hall of Fame or something like that. Maybe I did see something about that.
Yeah,
I was not aware he did a lot of training early up in Williamstown.
at one point in time, I don't know if it's a rumor or not. We don't want to start rumors, but if somebody could factually tell us if at one point Nick Swisher supposedly offered to redo the stadium field as long as he could put his name on it.
I have heard.
I heard
that.
the rumor. I don't know what. I never heard that was true, because the rumor was that the money got turned down,
Yeah.
or the idea.
It must have had something to do with other sponsors, that the major anchor sponsors, I guess they have. So
It'd be nice. I mean, if that was fake, even if it wasn't, it'd be nice if he would. He certainly probably has the money to do it now.
What I thought was pretty cool about Nick was I actually watched him play football for PHS, and they won a championship that year, and I actually watched them play their championship game that year, and what was interesting to me is he was a pretty damn good football player too, and people were like, if you think he's good at football, you ought to see him play baseball. So it's pretty cool when you see some of these athletes that, like, no matter what they do, they're really good at it.
Oh, the fajita truck.
the
at
fajita
Mineral
truck at
Wells.
Mineral Wells. Yeah, there we go.
That's funny because there is a
Didn't Mountaineer Family Restaurant open up a temporary place out there or
one.
something like that also?
That's out in by the Pepsi plant, I believe. There
Yeah.
was,
Yeah,
Yep.
one of our viewers, Shelley Wiggins. That's her. Anybody else know Shelley Wiggins? Shelley or Craig Wiggins? No, okay, but that's her favorite place to eat. We always used to tease her because she would always post the specials on it. She's out there from Mineral Wells. I don't know if she's watching or not, but it's supposed to be pretty good. So what was you talking about earlier about some kind of food truck? You said something about a food truck. What was that about?
a food truck.
At the park?
Oh, that there was at City Park. Back when I was, I guess say young enough to play on the slide and the swings. That there's a it's now where the police have a place to have phones and things like that where they can interrogate people. That that was a place you could get food. It had hot dogs, hamburgers, French fries, and it was open all summer long. And there was someone on MOV asking, would they allow somebody to have a food
There you
truck
go, Luke.
in the park with a permit, since that where the concession stand was no longer available, and that I don't know, it would be something they would have to go through the process of making it fair. I don't know if they would be able to have a lottery type of thing of if there were 4 or 5 people interested that they could pick the best one, but they would have to, it would be a political thing.
That was one of the
They would have to
nostalgic
allow.
things is the snack bar over there.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many Southsiders remember when Southwood Park used to have a boat. It was a snack bar boat. It was back when Al Smith was the mayor. It was they put it in the pond over there. They'd sell ice cream, pretzels, hot dogs, and different, snack bar type stuff. But that was whenever they had paddle boats and all kinds of different things there. That was when people actually went out and did
Went
stuff.
to the park. Well, now a friend of mine has a couple of kids, and they were telling me kids don't just go to the park now. So if you live in Vienna, the kids are not getting on their bike and coordinating themselves and riding to the park. That you have what's called, I guess, play dates now. So the parents get together and call and say, "Hey, I was thinking about taking my daughter to the park. Do you want to come?" So, we're in a much different environment now. Of a friend of mine was talking about she doesn't want her daughter walking to school, which would be 4 blocks until she's 14 or something. And I'm thinking, I was walking to school in 2nd grade. I mean,
Oh, yeah, I
3rd
can
grade.
remember.
And
Yeah.
not just a block or like across the street. It was like several blocks.
Well, we
But,
used to
you
walk
know,
home from school. I mean,
Yeah.
we walked home from school from Guyon to Guyon School to Guyon Road, basically over on Division Street Extension.
But I can remember the little school I grew up in Athens County. And, you know, like he was saying, there were freaking first graders who lived in the village that were walking to school, and nobody ever thought for their safety or anything like that. You know, you just saw kids and you left them alone.
I think a lot of that has to do with we're talking about, you know, places, restaurants open. Nearly every school around there, you know, within one block there was a restaurant. You know, in Vienna school there was Matlack's, I believe. There, you know, it was one block away. At PHS, you know, you had restaurants all
favorite
over.
show, Matlack.
You could go to.
That's different.
They don't have the open lunch anymore at either South or PHS. You know, they don't have open lunch at
That's correct.
Williamstown anymore. It was frequently, you know, I'd say once a week I would walk over from PHS and go to the pizza place. You could go to Hardee's. Sometimes you know, after junior, you drive your car down to McDonald's or.
Something else I remember, not to interrupt you, but I just thought of something. Something else I remember back in the day when Al Smith was the mayor, and the reason why I remember it, and I want to say it's because you don't see this anymore. Al Smith used to have an old Jeep Cherokee or Jeep Wagoneer, and he had a snowplow on the front of it. And, you know, I'm getting ready to tell you next, he would go out during the snowstorms or whatever, and he would plow. Well, he would definitely plow our road, but
I heard Bob Newell did some plowing.
Well, you know, that feeds right into what I mentioned right at the top of the show.
I'll be here all night, guys.
And I was corrected by Rick Monisset that it's not a commissioner, but it is definitely an elected official in Wood County that got the car. That you know, you when you're elected, the people that elected you, you're hoping that person's going to be looking out for the needs and the wants of people in the county. And just like you're talking about with the mayor Al Smith, that if he was going out,
this was his personal car too.
His personal car. He's going out, you know, and I think we need more of that. But you have to be careful with the liability thing. I mean, you know. Never when I was younger, and I'm talking about being in school before graduating high school.
Right.
I don't think the thought in my mind would have ever been, okay, if I'm a retired veteran, the police are going to arrest me because I was feeding a homeless person. That's a narrative that does not. It just didn't even register.
Right.
And now you've got things. You know, it does make sense. Oh, well, they arrested someone selling velvet paintings on the corner because he didn't have a business permit from the state of West Virginia. Okay,
right.
That makes sense because the state of West Virginia wants taxes. But when you're feeding somebody who's hungry,
right?
That's a complicated thing. Their regulations, I guess, are sometimes there to. They appear that they're there to help people, and then it ends up the unintended consequences. So I was wanting to open up a restaurant in Ohio, actually, and I found out as long as you, I'm not exactly sure the number, if you feed less than 10 people a day, that you didn't have to have a health permit in certain regulations, in certain circumstances. So, say if you were running you had to make meals for someone, that as long as it was under a certain number, that then you fell under that regulation. So
hey, Larry the karaoke guy checked in tonight.
Larry-oke, that's what we used to call him, Larry-oke.
Larry-oke should have come over tonight.
He said he couldn't make it. He's got a busy day tomorrow, so he apologized.
He's making movies now.
He has been on. Actually, I've seen him rubbing elbows with some pretty cool people, actually. Tony Dorsett, Dallas Cowboys. What was the other running back? There were several people. He used to chase
Emmitt Smith.
Yeah. He was a fullback, wasn't he?
No, he's running back.
Oh, he's running back. Okay. But that'd be pretty cool, though.
And it already scrolled off the screen, but Luke Williamson, I just want to say, I know you know Athens when you mention the burrito buggy, so you got it.
Oh my!
For some reason or other, and I don't know why, but the only reason or the only thing I can think of when you mention Athens is that damn block party that I had to work for. I know I talked about it before at Burger King. Did I ever tell you that?
Oh no, I didn't know you worked at Burger King.
Oh my God!
So you know the Burger King's not even open on Court Street anymore. They closed that one to open up that one in front of Walmart that's down there now. So there's only one Burger King in Athens, and now it's in front of Walmart.
So Dave Delaney, Beavis, and I used to work at Burger King together.
Okay.
Which that's already a disaster.
I know. I
waiting
just
to
assumed
happen.
the only place you'd ever worked at other than DuPont was Radio Shack.
I started McDonald's and then Burger King and then Radio Shack.
Oh, wow.
So, but Dave and I, just a couple of things we used to do. One of the things we used to do is go in and suck helium off the thing and then go into the drive-thru. That was a blast.
I can imagine.
But the whole Athens thing, the owner of the guy used to own the one in Marietta. He may still, I don't know. It was one of the Wharton guys. Used to own the one in Marietta, Vienna, and Parkersburg on Route 50.
Yeah, it's Charton Management is what it is. They still own the Athens one and all the ones around here. I don't know who owns Charton Management, but I know that's what the company is.
But they come to us and said, the block parties this weekend. Who all would like to volunteer and go up? Well, who's get all the hours you can get at that age. We was trying to put gas in the car and earn some extra money. Said, hell yeah, we'll do it.
I love that location, by the way. I loved it. It was upstairs and downstairs. And
The Route 50?
No, the Athens location.
Oh, yeah.
I love that Court Street location.
Yeah, well, that was a complete mistake going up there and working the thing, though. We did not stop with fries, burgers, and all that shit. And people come in and piss in the trash cans and puke all over the floor, and we didn't leave up there until like 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's the only thing that's my.
And how many times did you do it?
It only took once.
Oh, okay.
Never did it again.
Were you getting on bonus pay for this, or this was just hourly?
No, this was just hourly.
All right.
Yep,
that would kind of suck.
They took us all up in there in a conversion van, and then brought us back down.
There is a place in Athens. I'm thinking the last time I was over, they had chicken and waffles.
I remember some dude coming out. One of the costumes was some dude with a condom over his head, all the way down.
Protection is always a good idea.
Good times, Craig. I don't know.
We are getting towards the top of the hour. We have actually taken over. Do you feel we fully taken over tonight, Craig, Scott?
I'm just happy that we started with I think we hit the peak that I saw. We hit 40 simultaneous viewers, and we still at the end of our show here have 25.
Not many stories. I was hoping to get. I'd been researching for the week of some interesting ones. Craig had mentioned.
I've been trolling it all week, but just nothing.
John
really
Lawrence, what I think you should do is take the band, climb to the top of a building in Athens on Halloween night, and just start playing a set.
That would be pretty awesome.
What do you think?
I totally agree with that.
Okay, what were you saying, Nate? What about the comments?
I was checking to see if any late comments had been or posts had made on the MOV. What's happening? And we're still. What is that? A bunch of tools.
DJ Mikey Mike's wanting us to.
That's what people call us.
Plug. He's got a DJ showcase February the 6th.
Mikey Mike, I saw something you posted about your birthday celebrations coming up at the Blue Pit too. Did that already happen, or is that still on the way? Let us know that.
I think he had DJ Mixar there.
Yeah, Alec.
Alec, yeah.
Did that already happen or not?
I think it has already happened.
And then
DJ Mixar is joining forces with someone else. They're going to be at coming up this weekend. There's a wedding
Code
thing.
I think his name's Code. I think it's Great House. I'm pretty sure that's his name.
Got a wedding show coming up. That would be Keith McClung's.
Yeah, that was today.
With the flowers today. Okay.
That was today, yeah. But there's of course, the Tough Man contest is this weekend. Go out and do that. And if you are a Columbus person, Nathan Worsham, I don't know who else is on here that's from Columbus, but the Impractical Jokers is over at the Schottenstein or Nationwide Arena, whatever you want to call it now.
I just happened to catch that somebody on the Who Makes the Best Hot Dogs post actually wrote the BP at 95 and rayon. I mean, tell me that's a joke. Tell me that's a joke.
I didn't mention Diggity Dog in Vienna, but they've got some tasty.
Somebody did say Root Beer Shack. I forgot about that place.
Root Beer Shack.
Ooh, back to nostalgic. You just brought up another one. Becky's Drive-In or the A&W over on Mary Street.
Root Beer Shack.
A&W and then Kenny Rogers Roasters.
Yeah.
Root Beer Shack will never. It's really good, but it will never be the Gary Trow Dog G&W.
Oh, I missed this post here.
He had some awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce?
He will not
Awesome
reveal the recipe, but he's
sauce.
got a spicy hot dog sauce.
That's right, Johnny, like the
does.
Beatles.
G&W root beer. Wish he could bring that back. That's one to bring back in a food truck.
G&W, that was...
We need to talk to Gary Trow and see if we can partner with him to get hot dogs in a food truck, and we could make millions.
So I missed this post. Who has the slower service, Southside Burger King or Southside McDonald's?
I don't know about slower. Let's go accurate. How about this talk accuracy?
Because to me, there's nobody that beats any Hardee's for slow, dude. I'm telling you, Hardee's is freaking slow.
But
and it
they're
doesn't
fresh
matter.
now.
It doesn't matter which one you go
It's
to.
fresh.
Taco Bell's pretty slow.
Well, that's a good question.
This never here is.
Everything's made to order.
Yeah, I guess it is because there's always a lot of people in line, though. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing, dude. I eat at McDonald's and Belpre a lot, and they're fast and accurate both, I think. So I don't have those same
I have
McDonald's
to say they've gotten
problems.
better. Or at least McDonald's has gotten better on Southside.
I don't remember the quality difference really of, we can all remember when you went to McDonald's, it's like there was a row of hamburgers, there was a row of cheeseburgers, there was a row of Big Macs. And so you ordered, they grabbed it, the fries were ready. Now it's all made to order. So the timing thing, especially at the traffic circle McDonald's later at night as the sun goes down, seems to be quite a long time waiting in line.
Oh, here's a question I did have about, since we're talking about food. Do either one of you still eat at Don Emilio's?
I haven't been there in years.
Okay, because that was the place back in the day. If you remember back when Kevin Mayle ran that place?
Yep.
When Kevin Mayle ran that place, it was the place, and man, I was in there multiple times a week. I was in there at least once a week, and it was multiple times a week, and especially on like the Tuesday night family night. And
it is not
it
like it
seems
used
like
to be.
nobody goes in there anymore, and including myself. Maybe I might go in there once or twice a year. There's still things I like. They still have Mexican pizza, and that's still one of my favorite dishes there.
Remember when the China Garden was there?
Oh, yeah. Remember House of Hunan being in B-Dubs and China Garden
Hunan,
being in Don Emilio's.
Yeah, why isn't there any Chinese places really bring the food to your table anymore like that?
Well, there
I
is
wonder.
Shogun. Shogun and Tokyo both.
do they do
Or
that?
Shogun and Tokyo both do.
I thought that was a buffet.
No. Neither one of them are. And actually, both of them have pretty decent sushi, too, if you like that.
Does anybody remember Chuck E. Cheese?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I used to go there a lot. Used to take my kid there all the time. The thing is with those, the robots needed oiled so bad or needed maintenance so bad that they squeaked over top of the music. Like you couldn't hear the music for the squeaking going on. It was crazy.
Hey, make sure everybody, before everybody cuts off, we're not cutting off quite yet, but make sure everybody goes over to the Roberts Report page, please, and like it and follow it and share it. Need to get our numbers up. Need to get them up to like 5,000 likes or something.
Yeah.
We have 30,000 people in here, so if we could get a third of the people in here go over and like it, we would highly, highly appreciate it.
Craig, who is it we have coming up next week?
We have a next week, and guess what?
We are not going to be
Not
here.
on
We're not
the
gonna be
air
here
next week.
We are not here.
Craig and I are both
So-
at Super Bowl parties.
Okay.
Yep. We are going to
That's why I wanted it to be mentioned that if you tune in and we're not there,
That's why.
you're supposed to be watching.
that would be a perfect
Super Bowl.
day to go back and look at some of our past ones.
Yes.
Except for the very, very first one that we did. I wouldn't go back and watch that unless you want to see a comedy show.
And a shameless plug: if you're looking for a place to watch the game, you don't have a family place to go, head to the Sixpence Pub and Eatery. They're going to be there's a fee to get in, and that includes square on the board, and you can also watch the game. The big back room will be open with speakers and TV, and it all benefits the Relay for Life team.
So are you are playing there?
Yeah,
for this?
I'll be hosting it with music,
Cool.
and it makes a donation to the American Cancer Society Team Forever Young Relay for Life team.
Those that still do karaoke, by the way, Nathan does a fantastic karaoke show.
You're more the DJ guy. I'm transferring to karaoke now. I don't know.
And you
I
are
miss the DJ part.
definitely one of the best ones in town. I mean, the quality of the songs, the quality of the sound, and your DJ profession kind of flows over in. Yeah, but it kind of flows over into your quality on your karaoke, though.
It goes back and forth. I also do had the privilege of doing sound for the Mayor's Series in Vienna for the concerts they have.
Yeah,
we got a lot of things. We're still in the winter. It's gotten a little warmer, but there's going to be a lot of events starting probably the end of February or March to keep us going all the way through the year as it gets warmer outside, and outdoor events happening. Lots of things in City Park.
I don't feel like we talked. Actually, I'm sorry, Nathan. Somebody just posted something just to remind me. We didn't talk. I don't. We can do a few more minutes here. I think we didn't talk enough about the Super Bowl. Somebody just brought up who was going to win the Super Bowl.
Unfortunately, I think it's going to be the Patriots, which will make them basically the greatest of all time.
Yep. I would just like to know, though, how many people really think, though, that the referees are biased with the Patriots. That's always. I mean, do you think? What do you think, Scott? Do you think it's just by chance?
There were a lot of questions about the officiating.
There's bad calls on every game. I mean, it's not just a Patriots game. There's bad calls.
Don't you hear that about everything, dude? Don't you remember when Jeff Gordon won his championships that everybody thought that he was getting help?
Soaking the tires.
And then when the Yankees won all their baseball championships, I think that's one of the first things you hear is everybody would like, when somebody dominates a sport, everybody would like to think that they're not doing it the right way or honestly.
Somebody had mentioned that whenever someone major talent retires, that it's always that team that wins the majority of the time. So, and I don't know if that's really true or not, going back through the statistics, but
your chair.
I will say that there definitely seem to be here in the last few weeks going into the finals that
I agree with Johnny Lawrence on that one, though.
Questionable calls.
I agree with Johnny Lawrence on that one. It does seem like the Patriots games that are on television have some type of call in them that happens that seems to have a lot to do with the game-changing momentum or something like that. The good one was the 35-yard pass interference play that happened during the game against the Jaguars.
Did you see the one meme going around with Belichick shaking the refs whenever they were losing? It was something or other. This is the Jaguars or something like that. We're losing to the Jaguars. Do something.
Oh, and we can't forget that all the players need to consider themselves employees because they're paid. And so if they need to follow the guidelines that was set forth in their contract, so they should stand.
It doesn't seem like you see, everybody was worried about what Lady Gaga was going to do or blah, blah, blah. It doesn't seem like you see a lot of shenanigans going on with the Super Bowl. So I wouldn't expect to. I mean, maybe I'm just being an optimist, but and I would like to see a replay of Janet Jackson's titty coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know what Janet Jackson's titties look like these days, though. But every man wants to see every woman's titties, so I don't suppose it.
Just as a joke, it would be awesome if Janet Jackson would show up for the Super Bowl,
or be in the crowd and they can show her on camera. Yeah, there you go. That she's in the venue.
I mean, they have a chance to really play this off good. They should somehow or other incorporate that wardrobe malfunction into the show. You think?
Cool. Even if it was like a stand-up paper cutout of Janet Jackson.
Yeah. Or even if they had a cartoon thing or something or other.
I wonder what company's going to have the outstanding commercial for the.
Have you noticed? Do you think the commercials have went downhill, at least in comedy? I mean, I haven't seen a damn good Budweiser commercial, and I
I
don't know
love the
how
dilly
long.
dillies.
See, I don't.
I'm a dilly dilly.
I don't like it.
It's hard
I
to
hate it.
It's hard to go back in time and top some of them. The Budweiser Frogs is definitely one that stands out. The Budweiser. So
That was one of the best ones, or one of the most popular, wasn't it? The lizards.
Well, I liked my favorite is What's Up.
What's up?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Just there watching the game, drinking a Bud.
True.
And then they always have the sad ones with the little pony that.
Yeah. Like the Clydesdales trying
Yeah.
to find their way home or whatever, or the Dalmatian.
Dilly dilly, Lisa. All right. Well, I think we're getting down to the end. We don't want to drag it on too long. We want some people to go out and look out their windows and stuff, so they have something to post on this page.
True.
So anyway, thanks for everybody tuning in this evening. This was our first time of taking over one of the most popular social media sites in Parkersburg, or in the MOV, I should say, since it's MOV what's happening.
and we're on vacation next week.
Make
so.
sure you go over to Robert's Report and like our page, please. Like our page and follow it so you can keep up with some of our other things. We don't just talk about this kind of stuff. We've had people on there about anti-bullying. We've had Sheriff Stevens on there about drug abuse.
Larry Parmenter says he'll be here next week with us.
Yeah, I bet he will. Yeah, Larry,
Larry-oke.
come on over, Larry. But we talk about all kinds of different things.
Dildo.
If you got a local band in town, if you can get a hold of Robert's Report, we can help promote your band and what
Thanks,
you're
John.
doing in town.
Yeah, I mean, I invited the Edge to come over.
And Adam Clayton and Bono.
Yeah, all of them. Yep. I invited. I tried to get Dennis Farrar was talking about Fume, so I messaged him the other day, and he said that all kind of fizzled. So we may not see a Fume reunion now. So we'll. I guess we'll just have to deal with the Jinxed guys.
Larry Oakey
Oh,
said
how
he'll be here in 2 weeks. He's not going to come next week.
Jinxed is freaking awesome, though. Loved every minute of that. It was a great time, great seeing him having. Bobby Britton was just a freaking animal, and he was sick. I can't imagine what he looked like whenever he's not under the weather. So, when is the next Jinx show, by the way? Anyway, we're rolling anyway.
If you want to talk about it,
We'll talk about it next
there's a forum you can talk about.
Hey, next week I think we'll talk about mixed drinks. People special, or not next week, but the next show.
Oh, absolutely.
MOV, what's
Bye.
happening?
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
And I've been thinking that maybe it's time to let 'em know that we're alive. Everybody, lift your hands to the sky.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Thanks, everybody. It was a lot of fun.
See ya.
Peace out.